We leave our egos outside of the door of the studio.
Yeah, can you give an example of where your music is used in a movie or commercial with a visual that succeeded the best in your opinion? That is the best?
Some Argentinian documentaries, like the Take from Noemi Klein, is not so well known, but for me it's a nice utilization because it's about the Argentinian crisis. It's good.
It's on different. Naomi Klein, she's very important. Avi Lewis, her husband, is very important in the alternative or anti-globalization movement in some way. They are really Naomi Klein, she wrote No Logo, and they are really important. What they say is very important. So we totally subscribe with what they say through the films, and it's happening in Argentina. But there is different levels. You know, there is more funny levels also. For example, we are very happy to see our music used in Nip Tuck, 6 Feet Under, or Sex and the City, because we love this kind of American series. Or there is another more mainstream thing, but our mother were very happy to see our music used and danced by Jennifer Lopez and Richard Gere in Shall We Dance? You know, it's different level of.
It was the best scene in the film.
Yeah, yeah. What I want, the first official album you released was mostly dance oriented, or a little bit with a dance background in your head, and then the second one more live, more folky live. What was in your heads when you were working on the third album? This new.
Well, several things. We really wanted to go back a bit to more the spontaneous thing we did in the first album, more electronic, because Philippe and myself started listening to more electronic music again. Around the time when we did Lunatico, we were sort of a bit bored. We listened much less to electronic music. I think there was less inspiring electronic music around at that time. There's much more now. And so we wanted to go back to that. I don't know if you can really hear it in the album in the end, but the approach was much more similar to what we did on the first one. Something more spontaneous, more playful, and bringing in horns. Also, that was like one of the main things that we wanted to do, and this changed completely the perspective also of the music you do.
You say more spontaneous. How would you describe the spontaneousness in the music?
We started the first step of the process is to compose, to make the tracks, and we were very spontaneous at this time. We took a month and we wrote 20 tracks in 1 month. I remember some days we wrote 3 tracks a day. I remember we were putting our melodies, ideas, patterns, and after we stopped, we closed the file. Okay, let's do another one. And okay, let's do another one. And we did another track. And after, okay, let's close the file. Let's do another one. And some days, and this month we're totally focused on composing. So it was very spontaneous because we really believe that the melody has to come very quickly and very. The intuition is not something cerebral. It's more something emotional from the feeling. But the rest of the year, because it took us a year to do this album, the 11 months were based on recording, arranging, producing, changing the sound, treating the sounds, really mixing, of course, mastering. Everything was super produced, you know, not overproduced, but we tried to make really great production, sound production. So that's why it's spontaneous, but after come the experimentation and the control around this improvisation.
But you said you come together for 1 month. Do you already have some ideas that you thought of maybe at home, or do you start working together when you get to...
We try not to advance in the individual way, because we want to. That's Gotan Project. It's 3 guys who compose together. So we have our individualities, and we can came with some idea, some even harmonic idea, rhythmic idea, but to put in the center of our 3, and we leave our egos outside of the door of the studio, and we work together to make music.